Jack Draper replaces Andy Murray as the marathon man from the UK. He wins another match in 5 sets. Andy Murray is in the box of Novak Djokovic, who's breaking records, and Coco Gauff is looking good.
Day 6 in the books, and what a day 6 it was. 5 sets were everywhere, and none other than Jack Draper finishing off the day with 5 sets yet again. That's 3 in a row from Jack Draper, and he's had to come back from 2 sets to 1 down in every single match. And I think the Australian crowd are starting to get a little bit annoyed. He seems to be ruining their Australian Open.
Yes, let's go through who he's beat. It was Navone in the first one from Argentina. And then after that, Kokkinakis in 5 and then Vukic in 5. So he's played 15 sets out of a possible 15. And he's won the critical ones. He's won all of the 5th set deciders. This one going all the way to the distance in a tie break. 10-8. What a match. And the most impressive thing for me, I know I joked about in the intro with Murray and how he was a marathon man. Murray was able always to do that, I feel. He complained, He was angry at himself, angry at the world, it seemed, while he was playing. But the longer a match went on, you fancied him in times, unless it was a Djokovic or a Federer or a Nadal in time. He lost to them guys quite a bit. But still, you fancied him. With Jack Draper, I never did. He has struggled physically. In Australia with the heat, I think that would just be amplified. In a slam, even amplified even more. And physically, he's been very weak. The longer a tournament goes on, and certainly the longer a match goes on. However, he's turned it around. And it seems like what he's doing is just like what Jannik Sinner did a year or so ago, where he looked very weak, changed a few things, built up his body and his stamina and physical ability. And from there went like an absolute machine. He's not quite reached the machine stage yet with Jack Draper. But one thing which is promising is he can now win deep. And physically looks a lot stronger. If he can sort out that physicality, for me, he's a top 10 player every day of the week. And everyone needs to watch out, including Carlos Alcaraz in the next one.
Yeah, that one, I'm so happy. That was the one we were talking about in the draw preview. I hope we get Draper versus Alcaraz. Had slightly different routes. Obviously, Alcaraz has been winning much more convincingly. But like you say, I echo that. Jack Draper being able to go 5 sets back to back to back is a great sign for me. I mean, I don't know how much it does for his longevity in the tournament. And if he can really, really push deep into this slam. Obviously, it's a tough match next. That if it goes 5 again, you would favour Alcaraz probably. But I've got a feeling maybe it won't. I think he's done so well, like they highlighted after the match. He actually came into this tournament slightly injured as well. He hasn't been able to train as much as he'd like to. I believe it's a hip injury that he's been sort of struggling with. And against Navone, that was when it was sort of flaring up a little bit. He didn't really show signs of it. Vukic played fantastically well. We've got to give a shout out to him as well. He doesn't seem to ever play better than at a slam. So well done to him. Disappointed that he had to lose in front of his home crowd. But Jack Draper, I'm excited for what the future holds. I know that, like you said, maybe in the past he looked a bit weak. I think he's showing strength year on year now.
Yeah, and the interesting thing with Jack Draper, Carlos Alcaraz, is the last time they played was last year, and Jack Draper won in straight sets. I think this is at Queen's, I think just before Wimbledon on the grass. It was a tie-break 6-3, and I think he's the only player to beat Carlos Alcaraz on the grass since 2022. So that just goes to show what a difficult thing that is to do with Carlos Alcaraz. And Draper showed last year he could beat him. Just when Alcaraz was playing some great tennis as well, because in that period, he was very good. Obviously, we saw what he did at Wimbledon. So that fills me with some confidence that this could be quite a competitive one. Do you think it's straightforward for Alcaraz, or do you think it could be another 5-setter?
I think Well, I'm not to give too much away. We will be putting out a preview later on for this one, but I think it's going to be very, very tough for Jack Draper, especially playing 15 sets. Alcaraz looks like so fit and fresh. I hope that Jack Draper gets the recovery time needed to be able to make it competitive, but it's going to be such a big ask. But he might have confidence, though. Like, he's actually been able to pull through these matches and show a side of himself where I don't even think he's even seen before. So Alcaraz has to watch his P's and Q's, because if he doesn't play his best tennis, he knows he's lost to him before, and Draper has all the tools. That serve, even deep into the fifth set tiebreak, was still super dangerous. So he's keeping consistent throughout a 4-hour match, which was brilliant to see.
Yeah. Moving on to Novak Djokovic. Yeah. I did say he's breaking records. Is he even breaking them, or is he just extending his own at this point? There's so many different records and numbers flying around with him. Opta-Ace put this one, saying he holds a win rate of 91.5%. 151 wins, 14 losses at Grand Slam events since turning 30. The best rate of any male or female player in the Open era. Evergreen. He's crazy. Like fine wine, just aging perfectly. And at the Australian Open, he always gets to the second week without foul. I saw a list of all the years. He's just very consistent in these early stages. And this match on paper against Thomas Machac is, I thought, a challenging one. I thought this is where his tournament was supposed to begin, and it didn't even begin because Djokovic dominated him. Thomas Machac didn't play particularly well. Djokovic struggled a little bit physically in the second, but we've seen this before from him many times. And I think all you can do is just credit Novak for a very professional performance against a very good player.
Yeah, he didn't even look his best, really, today, Djokovic, either, which is maybe concerning for everybody else who's left in the draw. Too easy, the first set for me. If you're going to really take it to Djokovic, you really need to start well, and he didn't start well, Machac, at all. It could have been a bagel. He was lucky. He was down 40 love love 40 on his first service game, facing break points everywhere. And Djokovic, once he got his teeth into him, that second set was the turning point. Machac had a break, got broken back. As soon as he was broken back, Djokovic just dominated. It wasn't... Djokovic said he played well. I think he did play well in spells. He still was like blowing a bit hard after some of the rallies. His hands were on his knees. He was arguing with someone in the crowd a lot who he addressed at the end, which was quite funny. He said he's going to go for a beer with them. Or
bring that one up. Bring that one up, because I did send it. It's quite funny. We can't show the video, but you can see after the match, someone was yelling again. I think it's the same person throughout the match, and Djokovic having a back and forth with him. He was like, "Can you just shut up?" basically during the match. And I've got a wife, so leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. That was the funniest thing. It's just like, oh, okay, we can go for a drink though. Here we go. I've just got it here. Let me just bring this one up. Sorry, mate. That's what he said. Yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. I have a wife. We can have a drink, though. Maybe you've had a few already. I like that. But he had to bite his tongue a little bit, Djokovic. He said before, he's like, I'm going to just take a moment to try and relax before I give my answers, because at the end he was just pointing at the crowd and going like, doing everything he could just to say like, you can't distract me from this win. What a win, though. I didn't see it coming at all. I thought, based upon the first two rounds, Machac and how dangerous he is on a tennis court. He's beaten so many players, even Djokovic he's beaten. Yeah, I mean, he just didn't really turn up. And Djokovic, maybe it's just his wise ways of just being able to maneuver his opponent around the court, different paces, different spins. Or maybe it's just the moment. A slam's a lot different to playing someone in just a regular ATP event. You can't really compare it, can you?
And this is quite fitting because it ties in nicely with what happened yesterday as well. And I don't know if you saw it with Daniel Collins.
Yes, he's funny.
I sent you that tweet as well.
Yeah. And he answered in the press conference, didn't he, Djokovic?
He was asked about Daniel Collins. We didn't speak about it, but yesterday she had a big interaction with the crowd.
Yes.
I think they were booing quite a bit, but I liked it. I think it was interesting. It was funny. It showed that fiery side of Daniel Collins, which we know some people love, some people don't like. But someone who did love it is Novak Djokovic. He said he's a big fan of Danielle Collins after her interaction with the crowd. He said, I loved her response. Everything she said on and off the court. Big fan of Danielle Collins after that. I was before, but now big fan. I love it. And I knew Djokovic would love it because there's a lot of similarities between the two of them with their reaction to the crowds.
I like this thing that she said in her press conference as well, because it's actually just quite hilarious. It says, every person that bought a ticket to come heckle me, it's all going towards the Danielle Collins Fund. Bring it on. Which is true in a way, because they're all paying and she's getting prize money. So fair play to her. I liked it. Wasn't she just like slapping her bum and stuff as well towards the crowd? I don't know. It was all
kisses, just loving it.
It was quite hilarious. I mean, you see Danielle and other people doing this to the crowd. Why not? I like it on the women's
side. This is another
side.
level completely. I mean,
remember
saw
Fritz
from
as well.
Well, do you remember Danielle Collins with Iga at the Olympics?
Yeah.
We posted it as a short on our channel. Everyone was very keen. There's a lot of interest in Danielle Collins' reactions. That's one thing I would say. So maybe we should speak about them more, because it seems like the tennis public absolutely are fascinated by what this lady does next. And she did win her match, so we'll have one more match at least to speak about her.
Which is brilliant. And that's one American going through, and it brings us along nicely to another American crashing out, and a big one at that. Jess Pegula in the last women's match of the day, beaten in straight sets by Olga Danilovic. It seems it was a day for the Serbians today. And yeah, the biggest win of her career. Jess Pegula, though, goes out again. Remember the comparisons with her and Rublev. She had that great US Open. It seems to have all gone away, that now. And she's back to normal again, going out earlier on in a slam.
Yeah, so she's the daughter of a basketball legend, girlfriend of a football superstar. But today, it's all about her. Idemo, Olga. I saw in the area where the players warm up that Djokovic was watching the screen and he was celebrating after she won. Obviously, being from Serbia, he was supporting her. And I've never really watched much of her in the past. But it's incredible how she's performing at this tournament. What was it? Her third top 10 win, and 2 of them have come this tournament. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it was an outstanding performance.
Or one, is this the first one that's come in this tournament? So first Australian Opens round of 16 and third top 10 win.
I mean, she's just very, very awkward for Pegula to play, I think. The fact
Did you
that
watch much of her before today?
I mean, here and there, we've covered a few of her matches on the channel before, but we're talking a few years ago. She's been very much up and down with her level. She's normally going through the qualifying in a lot of slam events, and this one...
Not anymore, though.
Yeah. She's going
to get a lot of points here. She's flying through the rankings. I believe she's at a career high, so things are looking good.
How old is she as well? Because I know that it seems like some players are around for a long time, but then you find out, she's only 23. So it's just like she's been around for a few years, but she's just been plying her trade, getting better. She has a very good serve. Obviously, this whole lefty thing again, it seems the lefties are doing so well in this tournament. And I don't think Pegula could really handle that serve curling out. It seems that all of them have that same serve. It swings out wide onto the ad side, and it was so dangerous. Pegula, no answers. I expected her to win this match quite comfortably, if I'm perfectly honest, and it was nowhere near it. She lost in straights.
Yeah, Danilovic, I'm looking here on the list. She's been in fantastic form. Even the back end of last year, she beat Polina Kudermetova, beat Siniakova, Dollarhide, and Samsonova in the last round. So,
she won an event
tournament, and I think someone we need to watch. She is a good sort of wild card. If anyone picked her as their wild card for the Australian Open, I think that's a clever move.
Yeah, a really, really good one to have on there. Let's move back to the men's just quickly now. And we were darting around as we have done on previous days. But this one needs to be spoken about the same way that Jack Draper has been applying his trade through this tournament. There is a young Spaniard, and it's not Carlos Alcaraz that's been doing the same. It is none other than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. How does he keep doing it? He's done it again. He comes back from 2 sets to love down and wins in 5 sets. I mean, I didn't expect any type of performance from Fokina. And now, we were talking about the Czech players being so great and having all these youngsters. We just lost Machac, we just lost Jakub Mensik, and all we've got left is Jiri Lehečka, who plays Djokovic next.
Fokina, though, I don't suppose he's that old, is he?
I don't think so.
It wasn't that many years when I was watching him in the Next Gen finals. I'm losing track of
25.
time. Gosh, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, maybe more impressive victories than Draper, because he should have lost probably both of them. I mean, go down, you can see some of the positions he was in.
Oh,
so
yeah,
look,
I've got the other one as well.
Yeah, but just go down. There's more. Keep
Is
going
it on
down.
this one? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So you've got even more here. Look, Felix was 2 sets to love up.
Yep.
And Felix was a seed who's coming into this tournament in some really good form. I gave him no chance there. Mensik was also 2 sets up, but look how close he was. I mean, he had match points.
Yeah.
Mensik. He was also 30 love on his serve at one point. Just, I honestly don't know how Davidovich Fokina won this match, or won either of the matches, really.
Well, that's the one thing which really impressed me about that result as well from Davidovich Fokina, is the fact that coming back, not only coming back from 2 sets to love down in both matches is impressive, but I also think the fact we never really talk about Fokina and his conditioning, and that was the one thing that won him the match today. Like, Jakub Mensik couldn't handle being deep in like a 5th set. You see how lopsided the score became when it went to the 5th set. He took over, and that's just credit to him that he must be in such physical fit shape, Davidovich Fokina, to be able to go 5 set to 5 set and still be the dominant force in a 5th set. I mean, Tommy Paul next. Does he have a chance against Tommy Paul? Quite possibly.
Well, he's playing a lot better than what he did last year, Davidovich Fokina, because the entire season last year he had 3 top 50 wins. At the Australian Open, he's already had 3. So in the first month of 2025, he's matched his amount of top 50 wins of the whole of last year.
Yeah, and he was 0-8 when going down 2 sets to love before the Australian Open as well.
I've always said he's a weak player. I've always looked at him as a weak player, where he's technically very good, but the moment things are going against him, he crumbles. I've never seen someone fold like him. He's just like a deck chair. Folds up and that's it. You can put him in the garage. But he's back and he's able to now fight through these tough times, which is a new Davidovich Fokina.
Yeah, read this one out. This one's a good one.
I've just done that one.
Oh, sorry, apologies. Done that one. We'll move away from him now. We'll go on to somebody else who's Spanish. And of course, it's Carlos Alcaraz. And he defeated Nuno Borges. That's it. 4 sets, though. Dropped a set against Borges. But I think, and this is actually what I was talking about in yesterday's episode, the exact thing happened in this one. And it was, against the big players, you might be able to win a first set, but can you win the 3rd set? And Borges did win the 3rd set, but it didn't help him. He still lost in 4. So
I thought that only applied to Sinner, though. Your theory.
Yeah, it might do. Yeah, I thought it was a good example of that. Someone being a big, like, strong player in the top 3, 4, that type of thing. You don't normally take that 3rd set. But he did manage to take a 3rd set. So that shows how much Borges has come along and how competitive he is.
And of course, he was asked about the tattoo, if he is to win the Australian Open. He said he's going to get a kangaroo. And Sinners also spoke, I think it was with the Tennis Channel, or I forget who exactly it was with, but it wasn't the official interviews after the match. And he said that from speaking to Alcaraz, he said he's super pumped and up for this tournament because it's the one he's not got. He wants to have the Grand Slam of all of the slams.
Imagine.
And this is his missing piece of that puzzle. So Alcaraz is more motivated than ever, according to Sinner.
I think he looks like he's in the best shape I've seen him at the Australian Open ever as well. It is a perfect opportunity this year. The only thing which could potentially stop him, not only, obviously, Draper's in the way. I think that he will fancy his chances, seeing how Draper's competed against, let's say, lesser opposition. Kokkinakis, Navone, Vukic, all players Alcaraz, I think you'd agree, would probably beat in straight sets. That's my opinion.
I disagree.
But maybe in 4.
I think
don't
he can
think he go 5.
He lost a set to Borges, so
Yeah,
I don't think he's any better. Like Kokkinakis is not that much worse than Borges.
Maybe,
hard court in Australia.
Exactly. So, but I think Alcaraz may have done it slightly more convincingly. Hard to tell, though. Obviously, that's all hearsay. If he gets past Draper, he could, and I'm not going to say he definitely will. It's Lehechka Djokovic in the other part, and then we could get Djokovic Alcaraz quarterfinal, and that's
massive.
The big one. That is the match. I mean, it's like your Nadal Djokovic at Roland Garros happening in the quarterfinal. It's that big, this matchup, and it's so big for each of them. He wants his first one. He wants his 11th. Greedy.
Djokovic wants to prove that he can still compete with the young players. That's what's at stake. Not so much the Grand Slam.
I think he still wants it.
In that matchup, but in that matchup of a quarterfinal, the thought of him winning the Grand Slam still comes secondary. What he wants to prove is that he can hit and play against the very best players and the young players of this generation. If he can go to Alcaraz and beat him like he did last year at the Olympics to get the gold medal, then no one can say that he's coming to the end and that he should be retiring. Yeah, because he's already doing exactly what he wanted to do and be competitive against the best players. That is what his target is for Djokovic. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point that you say, and I think that actually was displayed today. I think that was one of the reasons. You remember the Djokovic revenge tour that he had?
Yeah.
I think that's always running. It's not just that 1 year. It's always in his mind. If he lost his last match to that person, when he last played Thomas Machac, he lost to Thomas Machac, and he was probably just putting that back in place. Put you in your place, Machac. You won that one. You can have it on clay in Geneva. This is my house. Guess what? Straight sets. See you later. That's the real. Normal order resumes. I'm much better than you. That's what he probably wanted today, just to confirm it. Anyway.
Fair enough. Very passionate there.
Right. Let's move away from Alcaraz as well. Obviously, we know who's playing next. Let's speak about somebody who's been playing fantastically well. We're talking about all Spanish players on this, it seems, but has to be spoken about.
Not Coco Gauff.
Paula Badosa, of course it's Paula Badosa.
So Coco Gauff, your champion, gets the last slot on our show. Is that how it won?
Yeah, just an easy win for Coco. We can get to that anyway. So this one, Paula Badosa, though, I didn't think she was going to do this well this tournament. She had Kostyuk, such a tough match against Marta Kostyuk. She came through in 3 sets. And it could be a JG too many years too late that you should have had her in your top 10. Paula Badosa looks fantastic. Could she make a run in this tournament and really go for the title? Maybe.
I think you overrate Kostyuk massively. You've got her inside the top 10. I don't think she last year she was a top 10 player, and especially the back end. She was very, very good. But I think she had a very good season. I'm not sure if she's going to... I don't think she'll reciprocate that this year. So I'm not that shocked that she lost to Badosa, for sure. But fair play to the way Badosa played and handled the wind, because the wind was bothering her a lot. She was a bit rattled. Tsitsipas was getting involved from the sidelines as well.
It's great to see.
And Badosa, when she's playing like this, I think can challenge a lot of players on the tour.
Yeah. I think so as well. Definitely has.
I know we've got Igor Raducanu coming up next, and that's going to be at 12:30 UK time, which is brilliant for us over in the UK.
Yeah,
just past midnight.
Yeah,
but in a way, I would much rather have watched Paula versus Raducanu. I think that is a better matchup than the Igor Raducanu, because I just think Igor's going to blitz her.
Well,
it's a shame the way the draw works sometimes.
Let's hope it isn't a blitz, and hopefully it's competitive. But yeah, like it says here in this comment from Badosa, Tsitsipas in the crowd. At Love 5 down, you asked if he wanted to come on the court and play. And Paula says, I was just saying it to my coach, but he was very supportive. I think that he was more nervous than me. Yeah, that was in the second set. She was having a real torrid time, down 5-love.
Yep.
But She won the third, and that's all that really matters. And she faces Danilovic next round, so another winnable match. But both of them might fancy their chances there.
I think both will. It's going to be a good one.
We can speak about. I think this is bigger news than the Gauff, to be honest. So I'm going to leave Gauff further down the pecking order. I'm
Can we not
sorry.
even speak about Gauff, maybe.
Oh, whoa. We will speak about Gauff. This one's Naomi Osaka, and unfortunately, it came to an end. Retirement again, and that's just not the way we wanted this tournament to go for her. Bencic, the battle of the mums, it was billed as, and the one who's had even less time back from being the mum is the one who got the win. It was a close first set, just a tie break, but then unfortunately for Osaka, she has pulled out of the tournament. And there were some nice words, I think, from Bencic afterwards, just hoping that she would get well soon. I believe she wrote on the camera, get well mama or something like that, wasn't it? So.
I did see that, actually.
Yeah.
But the sad thing for Osaka is all 3 times she was leading when the injury became apparent. So
bad luck.
It's a very genuine cause for concern because she's winning matches and yet unable to play them. So I'm still very encouraged by the 2025 of Osaka. If she can get fit, she's a contender for the slams for me.
Yeah, that's the big question though, isn't it? Just staying fit. We can move on to just a quick note. I mean, we should really speak about the reigning defending champion quickly. She had a nice easier match, straight sets, a tie break and a 4, and now becomes the first player to claim 17 straight women's single match wins on a hard court at a Grand Slam event since Naomi Osaka in 2019. So that follows on nicely from Osaka. They're stealing some of her records probably as she goes. And last but not least, we should probably speak about the biggest match of the day, which was Coco Gauff versus Leylah Fernandez. I mean, it was billed as perhaps the final before the final, do you think, this one? But yeah, this one...
she's just not got enough, Leylah, to beat her. But this, I don't know, it wasn't a terrible performance from Leylah. Just not good enough on her serve. She got broken 3 times, I mean, in the second set.
Yeah.
Did break Coco, but yeah, needs to do better on her serve. Her serve is too weak to compete with a Coco Gauff firing.
Yeah, she gets attacked very quickly off the serve. Yeah, I think Coco, this is her most confident performance, though. She looked like she was really at home on the court. And then had some funny... she had a funny interview afterwards, which she's put out a tweet afterwards to say, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed about what I said on the court in the post-match interview. They said it's one of the best tennis outfits ever. Is it comfortable? She said apparently it's designed on some sort of Marvel outfit from like the superhero movies and that type of thing, which was quite cool. And Coco said, a lot of people were wondering how I used the bathroom in it. So I posted a video on Instagram, not actually demonstrating, but you get the idea. It's interesting what she's posted on her Instagram these days.
So is it true you were one of the people asking on Instagram, sending Coco a DM saying, please can you show me how you go to the toilet in this dress? Or is that rumours? I just want to put that out there. I thought that's a good opportunity for you to clear your name, Ben.
Just harsh rumours. I think someone using my face must have been doing it. No, no, definitely not. But yeah, I'm glad she's cleared that up because everybody was wondering. Yeah, I don't know who out there is asking that type of question online. It's very bizarre.
I'm not surprised though. The online world is a very strange place to be, and we're part of it.
Sounds like a place for OnlyFans, that type of chat, not so much Instagram. Schneider went out, Vukic through. That was quite a big win, really, considering Schneider a big seed in this tournament. Yeah,
Siegemann's back to what I thought she was going to be like the whole tournament. And she finally did what I thought she would do, and that was lose convincingly.
I bet Kim Win-jung's just looking at that, just thinking, why didn't I get that version? She got the one.
Go down. Freck as well. Weird match. I mean, Mira Andreeva, she beat her 6-1 in the second set. Mira Andreeva's been very wobbly, by the way, and I think if she is to play this Sabalenka one, she's going to get blitzed.
I mean, who's she up? Is it Sabalenka next? Yes, it is. Yeah. So Sabalenka in the 4th round. That one is just danger. I think she's going to really have to serve well in that, because if she doesn't, Saba's going to absolutely kill her off of a second serve. Vukic, Pavlyuchenkova is another match which is coming up. Gauff, Bencic. That one's quite interesting now. And then we've already spoken about Badosa, Danilovic as well. So that's it.
There we go. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our Day 6 roundup. Jack Draper, flying the Union Jack for Ben and myself, because I am half British. And they're doing extremely well. He's doing extremely well. Not the British, because a lot of them have gone out now. Raducanu's still in, so you'll be pleased about that. Djokovic doing well. I mean, it's a bit of a Ben Australian Open. The British, a few British players, Djokovic. What more do you want, eh? Coco Gauff, Lerner. It's becoming a Ben Australian Open.
Well, let's just hope that I can have some of them actually winning it. I don't want to just see them going through the first week. It's the second week is where it counts. So stay in there, hang in, and make sure at home, smack a like, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, all of that good stuff.
And remember, Ben, the British way is we don't celebrate victories and success. As long as they go far, they can get a knighthood. So I believe if Raducanu can win one more match, she can maybe become some kind of royal title. Maybe Draper can be Sir Jack Draper if he beats Alcaraz. and that's how we do things in the UK. We celebrate failures and people who just get as far as possible but don't quite win, just like the England football team.
Ooh, or the mayor.
Thanks for watching. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you tomorrow.